Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Drop it.
Welcome back to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We are in week 9 already. Week 9, season 5. Thanks again to all our sponsors. Thanks again to Chris Shipley for producing for us in the background here. Smool's looking to park here real quick. He's on the road.
You're about
Keep your
to
eyes
find
there. I'll keep talking until you get there.
You got it. About 20 seconds, I'll be in Casey's.
Just a little recap from last week quick. We had a good week. Went 4-1 in our circa. I think Shipley went 4-0 on his plays putting our picks together. I went 3-2. You went 4-2. You won your college game, and I am still 0 on my college plays in the year. So hopefully you've been missing me on that one. Again, we do not hide from our plays. It's been a cold one to start, but picking it back up puts us at 16-24 in the year for circa. Got you up to 20-31 on the year. For NFL plays, 4-4 for college. I am at 22-23. And as I said, 0-8 my college plays. So hopefully you've been fading me on that one. But no, man, it was a really good week. Dude, Cowboys and Giants, the 2 primetime games cost me from having probably my best week ever. It was good. I got some round robin dogs home. It was a good week. It was a very, very good week. Hopefully, I said it always balances out. So we just need to put that with another one back-to-back here. Headed to Ames this weekend. Pretty excited for that tomorrow. Got to go get family pictures done tonight.
All right, good luck.
Treating last night. It's been a busy week, but big one for the Clones again this weekend. Sounds like Shipley's got the ambulance ready to make it back there. So all's good in the world.
Awesome, love it. Cool. Yeah, I'll fire us off.
Yeah, go, buddy.
All right. I kind of led to it in a group text we were in this week. A game that just stood out to me for the NFL was, I'm going to take the Cowboys +3 here at Atlanta. Dallas was getting 4 last week at San Francisco. And, if it just is like, wow, I feel like it's a massive overreaction here. I don't think Atlanta and San Francisco are close. In comparison, so Atlanta defense is abysmal. They're not very good. We saw that on display again last week, despite the Bucs missing, all their stud wide receiving core. It really feels like it's just a desperate time here for Dallas. Obviously, everything in the headlines. So, look, I don't think this Cowboys team's great, but Atlanta plays a lot of close games as well. I'll take the field goal here.
This would be play 1 for us on circa. Okay. I'm with my biggest reason too is it's like a must-win game for Dallas, and Dak plays well when he has time to throw, and Atlanta just does not get to the quarterback. So Dak's gonna have time to plan and throw. I think he's gonna have a huge day. I should look and see what his individual player odds are, but he's going to go for 3 bills plus, throwing the ball, probably a couple touchdowns. I think CD's going to have a big day as well. I like the Cowboys out right here, so that'll be play 1 for us.
Perfect.
I I got a play here that I think it's an overreaction from last week. We were both on Cleveland last week. I had Cleveland in some money line plays, which made me some nice coin in my round robin.
Yeah, great.
But I think this is an overreaction with the Chargers only being 1-point favorites on the road here. This is still Cleveland still has some big holes. Are they better because they're going to be able to move the ball with Jameis? Absolutely. We said that last week. It showed. But there is still some serious flaws in that football team. I think it's an overreaction on this line. I think it'd be interesting to go back and see what this line would have been a week ago. It's nuts to me. So I'm going to take the Chargers on the road at Cleveland.
Okay. I can totally be convinced here on this one. So I like this. There's a good chance this makes it for our 5. So I'm going to take the Raiders getting 7 at Cincy. I was actually against my Raiders last week, and
they backdoored you.
Yeah, they
backdoored you. You're on the right side of that play.
They just find a way. That's the thing, though. The Raiders' defense is low key, they're respectable, and so they can muck shit up enough to be competitive. And I think here again, it's more of where are the Bengals' heads. It felt like last week that was the week. You're getting Philly at home. You're a short home favorite. That was one that they really had to win. I just wonder, what's left now?
I had the Eagles money line last week there too as dogs. I'm with you. I just think Cleveland is being overvalued here. You could talk me into this play as well.
Cincy's overvalued.
Sorry, yes. Yeah.
Cincy
is overvalued a little bit on this play. I just don't think they're going to be in games. I just don't think Cincy is a good enough football team to be a 7-point favorite against anybody in the league.
Yeah, and I mean.
Look, and the Raiders are a bottom 3 team in the league. We've talked about that as well, but they've been pesky in games.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, this is like your classic just Raider spot that nobody wants them, but they've covered against the Rams. They just covered against the Chiefs. They're not gonna win many games, but if you're gonna give them a lot of points, they're probably gonna be right there. So and yeah, it is. It's more of what's Cincy thinking. Their season has to kind of feel lost at this point.
It's getting to be close, man.
Yeah. So, all right.
I'm going back to here again. We saw it preseason. I just thought the Texans were going to take a step back, and they kind of fooled us a little bit, but they got hammered and they have holes and with some players out too. The Colts have a legitimate chance to come back and win this division. Like we talked about, they lost them twice. So they got a huge uphill battle. Going to Joe Flacco is going to make them more consistent. It's crazy. The Colts are 7-1 against the spread this year, though. 7-1.
Cover. Yep. Cover.
And they're 5.5-point dogs again this week at Minnesota. And this is I just love the Colts in this spot, getting that many points. I think there's a legitimate chance they win this football game outright too. And you give me the 5.5. I mean, this, like we said, this is how they make. You have a bunch of people that are going to tease that down to the Vikings winning, and this is how Vegas builds casinos. Those 5.5-point lines there. I love the Colts getting 5.5 at Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a play in this one, honestly. Don't really have a feel for the game. I get where you're coming from, though.
They've been 7-1 is no joke there. They lost 2 really, really close games to the Texans. They should have won. They get one of those, and they're leading the division with the Texans right now. They're a better football team. And that's with some pretty bad play by Richardson in his games. Yeah, and I think they're going to get rid of that now. Flacco can have more consistency there. I think there's a legit chance they win this game.
Sure. I'm going to go in a game. I'm curious on your take here. I'm going to go against your team. I'm going to lay it with Baltimore -8, I think. And Denver has obviously overachieved, and I think they're definitely improved. However, I think in large part is because of kind of the strength of schedule here lately, and so now you get them on the road and kind of in a tougher environment. And I love that the Ravens were upset last week.
A bad spot coming off for the Browns. This is a really bad spot for my boys.
It is. Yeah, Baltimore's going to be full of piss and vinegar here off that loss last week. So I'd be curious to see just how, Bo Nix reacts here to kind of a hostile crowd. I just think it's going to be this is a tough spot here. And the line kind of tells me that as well. So
It's a horrible spot. I actually kind of like the over a little bit. The over is at 45. I kind of see points in this game because I do think I think Denver's going to be trailing pretty early if they're going to throw the ball, and you can throw the ball on the Ravens. That's the one thing you can.
Yes,
so I do think that there's going to be points in this game. I think the Ravens are going to put up over 30 themselves. So I really, really like the over in this game as well.
Okay.
I'm not going to put it in the card, but I do really like the over in this game.
All right.
No, it's you're right on this. I can be maybe convinced as well. Like it's the Ravens or nothing for me here.
Sure.
Broncos are in a bad spot. They're 5-3. They had the Ravens this week. Then they have the cheat at Kansas City. It's like tough. I said, it's 5-5. And they probably have their season on the line a little bit with that Atlanta game right after that. So you can't
right
to get to the playoffs. So
no,
it's a really bad spot for if Ravens go out and cover last week against the Browns. Maybe it's a little bit of an overlook game. The Ravens on a roll like they were, and maybe
100%.
Maybe you like the Broncos in the backfield. This is a really bad spot with them getting nipped as big favorites last week. It's just a bad spot for Denver.
Correct.
It's Ravens or nothing.
Yep. If Baltimore snuck that game out, I wouldn't look to play him here.
Yep. All right. Going back to my boy again. I think they've made the card every single week this year. I don't care. I'm going to keep rolling with my boy. Kyler back to 4-4, 1.5 point favorites against Chicago. I think Chicago's getting too much love here. I think this should be a 3 at home. I think this should be a 3.5 point spread. I think we're getting a discount here, to be quite honest. So I do think the Cardinals are going to win the game. Chicago's they're still a year away. They're young. They have a bunch of holes. Caleb he's a rookie quarterback. He shows some really good throws, but he does a lot of dumb things too. And I just think the Cardinals we talked about them before the year. They didn't win a lot of those games this year, but they've been covering a lot, and they're just a better football team than Chicago. They're at home. It's a 1.5 point spread. Give me the Cardinals.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. I kind of forget about stuff. I realized it until someone said it this week, but Cardinals have played number 1 strength of schedule year to date, so that matters.
And they're 4-4.
But the odd thing is that 3 of their 4 wins literally came as they were trailing before the field goal kicker kicked the final one. They've had 3 game-winning field goal kicks as they were losing.
They've been down at halftime. They've been a horrible first half team this year.
Yeah.
I've hammered them at halftime. They've made me so much money on second half plays this year. It's been insane.
You're
incredible
right.
Second half team,
which
it goes back. I do like their head coach because a lot of that is coaching.
Sure.
Look, is it coaching getting down early? Sure. But to be able to make adjustments is a big deal. And that's where I think the Cowboys struggle at. So with our play with the Cowboys, I really do hope they come out and pound them early.
Right. It's
not a great come from back team. So
I would agree with that. I'm going to take the Jags plus 7.5 at Philly. Philly, we had them. We've used them. Actually, I think maybe the last 2. Well, so 2 weeks ago, they were at the Giants, only laying 3. Blew them out, covered. That was also, that situation where everyone that week, every talking show or every sports talk show was like, Sirianni fired, coming at him all sorts of ways. And now it's all of a sudden, Philly's a top 5 team in the NFL. And, then they go and, spank Cincy last week in the second half. But now you're laying 7.5. Like, it's just like they went from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I don't understand it. Like, look, everyone knows where I stand with Lawrence and how bad he is, but 7.5, like, Jacksonville can still move the ball. I don't know. If they're going to blow them out, sure. I just think Jacksonville still has some pride left. I don't see it being that ugly.
This is play 2 for us.
All right.
I absolutely love the Jags here. There's still Peterson's coaching for his job. Don't forget to show the revenge factor a little bit too. Peterson didn't have the greatest exit from Philly. The GMs and those people there too. So it's at Philly. I think he'll be ready to go. And yeah, this is just too many points. Like I like the Eagles. I said I like them to win the division to start the year, but I don't love the Eagles as a team. I do not love the Eagles as a 7.5 point favorite against anybody. It's just too many points, man. This is okay. I don't know if the Jags are going to win, but I think this is one of my favorite plays of the week, though.
Okay, all right.
I have one more play left.
I got one more NFL as well.
All right. Well, why don't we Chris, why don't we throw this and hear a word from our sponsors quick, and we'll wrap it up with our last play there, recap our plays, and get to our college picks.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa-born, Iowa-aged, Iowa-bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Connor Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
Welcome back to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. Good to see main man Connor Hawley there. Yeah, to wrap things up here too. I got you for 4 plays so far, me 5. We both have 1 left, and then our college plays. I'm due to get one right. My last play is my favorite play of the week.
Oh, good. I love to hear it.
I cannot. It's Monday Night Football. I know the Bucs are banged up. 8.5 is so many points. Way too many points. I do think you got time to get this right a little bit. Kansas City has not been great as this huge favorite. I'm covering those big spreads like that. They did get backdoored last week, but there's just it's just too many points. I love the Bucs getting 8.5. I think it's a rally cry for them too. They might not even win the game, but the season's slipping away from them a little bit recently. I think they're going to come ready to go. The lights are on. I kind of see the Chiefs by a field goal here.
This was my last play. So, Bucs as well. I think, when people look back, the only thing I'll add is, so 2 weeks ago, Chiefs were at a big game at San Francisco, right? And then they follow it up. There is, despite the Raiders being horrible, it still is a rivalry game, especially with how kind of the Raiders have just done like nitpicky things against Mahomes and stuff. So they definitely were all in that aspect as well. And the Raiders did beat them last year on Christmas Day. So that revenge played an angle. And there will be a let off the brakes type of moment. And it feels like it's here this week. Like, even though it is Monday night, right? I agree. I think the Bucs will be more focused here. The Chiefs they're entering this point halfway through the season. Well, they damn near have home field wrapped up. And more power to them. I think they get the Bills in a couple of weeks, but I don't see the urgency here. Kansas City's just going to want to win games.
Yes.
They're beyond the point of wanting to win by margin.
Well, I don't think that they're built to win by margins, to be completely honest with you. They're just not. I understood the spread last week against Raiders. They still should have covered it. Got backdoor. You're on the right side of that play. But this is a defensive football team that needs to play really well and not make mistakes. They've actually gotten away with Mahomes making quite a few mistakes. The defense has bailed them out many times this year, but that defense is incredible. But this team is built – they're built to win games 24-20, to grind you out and just be better in late game situations and just win. They're going to win a lot. They're not the old – we still think it's the Chiefs of 5 years ago. They're going to put up 40. This is not who they are anymore. No, especially with their guys out. I mean, they have their own injuries too.
Yeah. They're nowhere near that. You're right. I mean,
This isn't the Andre Hopkins of 2019 either. This is an old dude that's in there now, but they're built to grind games out and win that way. The Bucks plus 8.5 is my favorite play this week.
Yep. Okay. Well, that'll be our third then.
Perfect. For my college play, I don't understand how Illinois is dogs at home against Minnesota. I don't get it. This is a coach. They're 3-point dogs at home against Minnesota. This is strictly a coaching play for me. I think Bielema is head and shoulders above your boy up there in Minnesota, and I think the wrong team's favored by 3 here. So we'll see if I can get to 0-9.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is a wild game, or wild line. I'm going to take Kentucky plus 17.5 at Tennessee. Little rivalry spot here. I'm just fading Tennessee off of the big Alabama win. They're got to be here a little, like to say, let off the brakes as well. And so Stoops, head coach, big dog under, in this role. They played Georgia tough. I think people forget about that early in the season. This just feels like just a really, really, really good spot here for Kentucky. I mean, even if they're getting the doors blown off, the back door has to be open. So I just wonder when I see teams pull a big upset at home as a dog and now you're favored by 1 million. That's tough. So.
All right. Yeah, I can get behind that. It's an interesting spot for the Clones this weekend. I'm just kind of watching the Big 12 play out a little bit. Iowa State maybe can drop a game, but they cannot drop the Kansas State game. Like if that's their only loss, I don't think they're getting in. I don't see BYU losing on the way out. Colorado has 1 loss. And I think there's a chance they could win out and be outside looking in as well. But it's kind of crazy how this is playing out.
We really needed Colorado to beat Kansas State a couple weeks ago. So I agree. It's going to come down, and then that weird game for Iowa State out in Utah late. And
I don't like that game either. I know they're playing terrible. I do not like that game.
It's not going to be a good spot for Iowa State there. So, and it's
take care of business this weekend. It'd be cool. I have
sure.
tickets. I have tickets this weekend. I do have tickets to the K-State game as well too. So I'm kind of hoping that'll be for. If that's for an all the marbles game, that'd be pretty sweet too. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's out in front of him, but actually, I'm sweating the future on the Clones. And believe it or not, I went back and looked. I got a nice one on Texas A&M to win the SEC.
Wow.
Yeah.
You thought that was dead after the first week?
I mean, you lose to a pathetic school in Notre Dame. I'm like, what? And they're controlling. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay,
crazy.
Let's go Aggies.
Nice. Why don't we try and figure that then too?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll run through our plays here quick. I had 6 plays for me, 5 for you. I had the Chargers -1, the Cowboys +3, Colts +5.5, Cardinals -1.5, the Jags +7.5, the Bucks +8.5, and I had Illinois +3 for my college play. For you, I had the Cowboys +3, the Raiders +7, the Ravens -8, Jags +7.5, the Buccaneers +8.5, and Kentucky +17.5 for your college play. Thanks again to Chris for producing for us in the background. He did go 4-0 picking our 2 plays each last week. I think he hit a little parlay with it too, so hopefully he can stay hot in that.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, you got anything else to add?
No, thanks, Ship. Have a good weekend, guys. And I got to go call Ambrose now for about 3 hours.
He's gonna be your best friend, I told you. All right, guys. As always, I'm Ted. He's Small. Cash that ticket.
See ya.
Drop it.